Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a recipe for sponge cake, aka pound cake. It's the type of cake that my mom used to make for us when it was our birthday when I was growing up, and I still make it in my household for birthdays. My son is helping with this recipe today because we're making this cake for my husband, and I want to start by adding a pound of sugar, granulated sugar, to the bowl of a stand mixer and a pound of room temperature butter. You can see that butter is pretty soft, and it's very important to get the butter to room temperature before you start the creaming process, because this will impact how creamy and fluffy your batter is and therefore your cake texture. Once you get that all creamed together, you're going to go ahead and add 10 eggs one at a time until each is fully incorporated. My son is an excellent egg cracker, and he cracked all the eggs for this video and no shells were in the batter, so yay Andrew. So you're going to go ahead and add that one at a time. You want to mix that pretty slow, so probably about medium speed. I think it's on speed 2 here. And then once that's mixed well together, go ahead and I add 2 teaspoons of baking powder to a pound of sifted flour. Again, very important to sift your flour. And then you want to incorporate the flour and baking powder mixture just about a half a cup at a time into the cream, butter, and sugar mixture. So this video is sped up, but it's actually on speed 1 for my mixer, and we're going pretty slow, and my son's helping, as you guys can see. So you want to do that until all of it is incorporated, and then you continue to mix it for a little bit. Then I go ahead and I add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, mix that for a little bit, and then I add the zest of 1 orange. My son's helping me with this, and it took us a little while, but we got the hang of it, and I think we got into a good rhythm and we're able to get all that zest into that bowl. Once you've added the zest, I go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of Guyanese rum. And this is a trick my aunt told me, and she said it helps the cake to stay fresh longer and really helps with the texture of the batter. And if you don't want rum in your cake, go ahead and skip this, but really it doesn't impact the taste, and all the alcohol bakes off, so it doesn't impact the alcohol content of the cake either. So if you want to take a risk, go ahead and add it. If you don't care for it, leave it out. Then I add this batter to a greased baking dish. We're using a bundt pan because it was my husband's birthday and my son chose this pan and he wanted to do it. And you know, once kids make up their mind about something, there's no changing it. Typically, I would have separated this batter into 2 8-inch baking pans and made 2 cakes, but here we are stuffing all of this batter into this bundt pan. But you know what, sometimes you gotta live a little. So go ahead, make sure it's pretty even so it can cook evenly. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and then I baked this for about 45 minutes to an hour. And you want to just check on it. I checked it on the 45-minute mark because I do live in Denver, higher elevation, and sometimes things cook a little bit faster here. And then I want to go ahead and just insert a toothpick all the way around to make sure that it is evenly cooked and that it's cooked all the way through, especially since this cake was so thick. Then I let this cake cool all the way down. You want to let the cake cool all the way down so that it doesn't stick to the sides of the pan. In the cooling process, the cake shrinks and then it's easier, it comes away from the pan easier. Then I'm going to use a butter knife here to just separate the rest of the cake from the pan if there are any parts that are still stuck there. Because we are using this bundt pan, the circumference of the cake is not really circular, it has a pattern, and I want to make sure that no bits of cake is left on that so that we can actually see the pattern of the bundt pan. So I'm going to flip it over using a cake stand, and you can use a plate, but we were being fancy again because it's my husband's birthday. And then when I remove this pan, as you can see, the cake is absolutely perfect. The texture is perfect. The crust is evenly brown. And if you've had sponge cake, you know that like that brown crust is the best part of the cake. So here you can see we cut a slice of the cake. The texture is amazing. It tasted really good. My husband said it brought back so many childhood memories, and my son was so proud that he helped with this. So thanks for watching, and check out metemgee.com for more recipes and the description box for all of the measurements.